Welcome to Baby Boomer Tales. My name's Jim. You can find us at babyboomertales.com. Once you've arrived, you can find our Facebook page, links to our podcast, and our Boomers General Store. We've got a growing selection of kids' t-shirts from baby to toddlers and up with great boomer taglines like, quote, one of Grandma's favorites, end quote. Please click it and have a look-see. I appreciate it.
Housekeeping.
This is our continuing segment called Housekeeping. Before we get going on this, let me introduce you to our newest members of our growing cast of characters here at Baby Boomer Tales. This is the Munchies. We've got Get the Munchie and Got the Munchie. So say hello, Munchies.
Hello.
Well, it's good to have you here. We look forward to you coming and helping us do a little housekeeping every once in a while. Hopefully we won't be doing it as often as we had been doing it. We'll just have to see. So thank you very much, Munchies, and we'll see you again.
Thank you. Goodbye.
The housekeeping we have to take care of today is 2 weeks ago we told a little joke about Parmesan cheese. Well, lo and behold, it was brought to my attention we had told that a few months before. Now, I'm not much of a joke teller, obviously, and I'm not one of those guys that at a party or social event or something just rattle off a bunch of jokes. I have to get them and ponder about how I'm going to tell it, wait for the right moment, hope it comes out okay. I've got a brother-in-law that can just knock one joke off after another, but I'm not that way. I hope you enjoy our jokes, even if they're reruns. Drive up and down the highways or the country roads or the interstates, you'll see big old tractors out there with a farmer plowing a field or harvesting his crops. Sometimes you see these tractors on the sides of the highways and the highway departments mowing grass right there alongside the highways. You'll see tractors almost everywhere. You can see a tractor show on the big town south of us. Once a year they have a tractor show and people bring all these wonderful refurbished tractors. Some of them are just so shiny and new looking, and they're antiques, a lot of them. They're wonderful tractors. Tractors made by John Deere and Case and Massey Ferguson and Ford and Alice Chalmers and all these companies out there. And it's really a lot of fun. Once the tractor was invented, it changed farmers' way of life forever, and it helped our production of growing foodstuffs in this country, where we were really the leader in food production. We're still the breadbasket of the nation here in Kansas. Grow a lot of wheat. What I see around here being grown is feed corn and soybeans. That seems to be the two big ones. When we bought our place out here outside of Kansas City 23 years ago, a lot of property for us, and we knew we needed a tractor. Two things you need out here is a tractor and a lawnmower, and when I say lawnmowers, that is riding lawnmowers of some sort. When you own a whole lot of acres, your perspective on lawnmowers changes. I used to say a lawnmower, and that meant one of those I push, and then it changed over the years to a self-propelled, and I just kind of guided. But now I ride them, and I ride all over the place. But you also need a tractor. And so we found a deal on a tractor, brush hog, and a blade. The tractor was an Alice Chalmers D17 diesel, 1958 vintage. Nice old tractor. And went and bought it from this guy. And had a pickup truck with a trailer that we loaded the tractor onto the trailer. And I had the brush hog hooked to the tractor and the blade sitting on top of the brush hog so we could transport it all in one load. Once we got the tractor up on the trailer and I stand there trying to tie it all down, somehow that blade started to fall off of the brush hog and it had fallen onto the ground. And like an idiot, I tried to catch it. That blade probably weighs, I don't know, 130 pounds, maybe more. What happened is it crushed my thumb. The sharp part of that blade crushed my thumb and almost made me pass out. I had to sit down. My wife got all concerned about me. If I didn't have gloves on, I think it would have cut it off, but the gloves probably saved my thumb. Well, I did recover, but to this day, that thumb, it's my right thumb, and underneath the fingernail on the other side, the palm side of the thumb, it's flat. There's a big flat spot. So I definitely got disfigured by that blade, and we used the blade to either plow snow or grade the driveway. It's a valuable tool, that's for sure. But anyway, we got home with it, and that tractor has been a good tractor for us. We brush hog fields that aren't hayed, brush hog in and out of areas that's heavily treed that they can't get the larger tractors in to hay it. I do all kinds of stuff. Every spring I grade my driveway. Twice here in the Midwest I've had to plow snow, so that's not really an important factor, but those 2 times it was. We had gotten a lot of snow, it had drifted, and I had to plow myself out. It's important to have the right tools for the job, and a tractor, when you live out in the country, is the right tool to have. You might find what you need and more at Homer Kate's General Store. You might find what you need and more at Homer Kate's General Store. Well, there's old Horse. Gonna get himself some diesel fuel. He's a good old guy. I'm glad he got that tractor. Horse, when he's done filling up, come up here and have a great knee-high on the porch here. Hello, Horse. How you doing? How many gallons that take anyway? I'm sure glad you're not walking everywhere anymore. By golly, that's a nice tractor you have. What year is that puppy? Golly gee willikers, Horse. If I had to walk everywhere like you did for years and years and years and years, I'd be awful happy about having a tractor too. I'd like to have a tractor. I just don't know what I'd do with it around the store here. Maybe we could set it out and put a sign on it that says, Kate's General Store, the smiliest people in all of some city. Or something like that. What do you think, Horse? Anyway, oh, hold on. 2 cars are coming. Horse, can I move your tractor real quick so both those cars can fill up their gas tanks? I'll just pull it up here by the porch here. Okay, good. Thanks, Horse. Let's see here. How'd I get on? I gotta pull myself up. Okay. Yeah, doggies on top of this here now. I push this in. I know how to start this thing. I do. I pull that thing back and make sure she's in neutral. Okay, she's running. Okay, let me pull forward here a little. Okay, and I better back up just a little. I better back up. Oh no! I ran into my gas pump. In the fall, around here, about October, November, when I'm all done mowing with my brush hog, I go over to the other side of the pond, behind the lean-to shed we have over there, and I take the brush hog off and I put our blade on, and I level it all up and stuff. I bring it back and put the whole tractor and blade in the barn, and it probably will sit there all winter long. Sometimes I'll grade the drive right before I put her up for the winter, but not always. That's usually a springtime job. And then, when the spring comes, after a nice, cold, snowy winter, hopefully, I'd start up the old tractor after I change the oil and grease her up, check all my fluids, make sure everything's okay. And I'd drive it over to the other side of the pond, and I'd take the blade off, and I'd put the brush hog on, and I'm ready for summer again. It's a good thing to have, a tractor. I always appreciate having my tractor. Well, last spring I took that blade off and I put the brush hog on, and I just went and I parked the tractor in the barn, and it was a month or two before I really needed to use my tractor, and I started her up and I had a fuel leak, and I could not figure out where that leak was. I figured out it was fuel only by turning the tractor off and setting a coffee can under where it was dripping, and it filled that coffee can about half full, and I determined it was diesel fuel and not hydraulic oil or water and antifreeze from the radiator. So I started looking. I started tightening things down, thinking maybe something was just loose. Well, to make a long, sad story a little shorter, in my fuel injector pump, a O-ring was leaking in some little doohickey on the side of the injector pump, on the side next to the motor, which was very hard to see and harder yet to get to. And I can't figure out how to take it off to replace the O-ring. And if I took the little thing that pops out, am I going to mess up my fuel injector pump? And started looking around. It's going to cost a lot of money to have somebody come fix it. They'd have to come and haul it away and take it to their shop and fix it. And I am at the quandary. I decided to let it sit all winter and I'll think about it. Now I work on my tractor and I do light mechanicking. But this is more than I think my mechanical aptitude is capable of taking on. I may try it anyway. I'm at the point of what do I have to lose. I really don't want to spend as much money to fix it as it appears it may cost. It could cost as much as I paid for the tractor. And so that makes no sense to me whatsoever. But what makes less sense to me is going tractorless. So we'll have to see. I'll let you know how it comes out this spring. I probably start working on it before the heat of the summer shows up, because that barn can get quite hot, and I'd just as soon do it in the spring when the weather's beautiful. So old Mechanic Jim, at your service. Thanks for riding along today. I always appreciate it. It doesn't matter if someone's kind to you or not, because you can only control what you can control. And the only thing you really can control in life is you. So be kind anyway. I'll be back next Wednesday. Peace out. Hello? Is this the insurance person? Is this Joe? Hello, Joe. This is Homer Cates over there at Cates General Store in Sun City. How you doing? Yes, I'm doing okay, except I have an accident to report that happened out there at the store. Somebody ran into our gas pumps and I have to make a claim. Yes. Well, they weren't. Yeah. No, it wasn't a car. It was a tractor. Yeah, I know. No, we didn't call the police. Yeah, I've got the guy's name that ran into the pumps. Yeah, I do. His name? Well, Homer Cates. Yeah, Joe, it was me. I'm sorry.